Hollywood once shimmered with faces the world could never forget. Radiant smiles, unmistakable voices, screen legends who seemed larger than life. Yet time has quietly rewritten their stories. Some stepped away, some found new purpose, and some left us unforgettable memories. Tonight we revisit those timeless stars and discover how the passage of years has shaped the icons we once knew so well. Before we begin, feel free to share where you're watching from and what time it is there right now. It's always wonderful to see how far these stories travel and which corner of the world is remembering these legendary faces together tonight. Anne Helm. Once the ultimate Hollywood ingenue of the early 1960s, Anne Helm charmed audiences in Follow That Dream alongside Elvis Presley and appeared in numerous television dramas of the era. With soft blonde hair and a classic girl-next-door warmth, she embodied youthful Hollywood innocence. Now at 87, silver hair frames gentler features as she lives quietly as a children's author and illustrator. True legends never fade. Jacqueline Bisset. Once the ultimate symbol of cinematic elegance in the late 1960s and 1970s, Jacqueline Bisset captivated audiences in Bullet, The Deep, and Murder on the Orient Express. Her luminous green eyes and effortless European grace defined a generation of screen glamour. Now at 82, silver-tinged hair and softened features reflect a life lived with quiet dignity. Charisma only deepens with age. Nancy Kwan. Once the ultimate breakthrough star of early 1960s Hollywood, Nancy Kwan dazzled audiences in the world of Susie Wong and Flower Drum Song. Her expressive eyes and refined beauty brought a new global elegance to the screen. Now at 87, silver hair and gentle lines tell the story of decades lived beyond the spotlight. True pioneers leave footprints that time cannot erase. Victoria Principal. Once the ultimate television beauty of the late 1970s and 1980s, Victoria Principal became a household name through the hit series Dallas. With striking dark hair and confident glamour, she defined primetime sophistication. Now at 76, softened features and graceful maturity accompany her quieter life as a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist. True elegance never goes out of style. Kelly McGillis. Once the ultimate leading lady of mid-1980s cinema, Kelly McGillis gained worldwide recognition in Witness and Top Gun. Her piercing blue eyes and intelligent screen presence brought depth to every role. Now at 68, silver hair and weathered features reflect a life lived far from Hollywood's rush, focused instead on peace and personal healing. True strength grows quieter with time. Julie Christie. Once the ultimate embodiment of 1960s cinematic brilliance, Julie Christie captivated audiences in Dr. Zhivago, Darling, and Fahrenheit 451. Her radiant blonde beauty and thoughtful presence defined an era of sophisticated storytelling. Now at 85, silver hair and softened features accompany a peaceful life away from the spotlight in the British countryside. Grace becomes even more beautiful with time. Ali MacGraw. Once the ultimate romantic heroine of the early 1970s, Ali MacGraw moved audiences in Love Story and The Getaway. Her natural beauty, expressive eyes, and effortless elegance made her one of Hollywood's most unforgettable faces. Now at 86, white hair and gentle lines reflect a serene life centered on wellness, yoga, and compassion. True beauty evolves rather than fades. Ursula Andress. Once the ultimate Bond girl of the 1960s, Ursula Andress stunned audiences emerging from the sea in Dr. No. Her sun-kissed skin, confident gaze, and striking blonde beauty became an enduring image of cinematic glamour. Now at 89, silver hair and weathered features accompany a private life devoted to art and creativity. Legends leave images time cannot erase. Phoebe Cates. Once the ultimate youth icon of the 1980s, Phoebe Cates captured audiences in Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Gremlins. With expressive eyes and a playful charm, she embodied the spirit of an entire generation. Now at 62, softer features and natural grace reflect a quieter life devoted to family and her boutique business. Charisma never truly disappears. Lonnie Anderson. Once the ultimate television bombshell of the late 1970s and early 1980s, Lonnie Anderson became unforgettable through WKRP in Cincinnati. Her radiant blonde hair and confident comedic presence lit up the screen. In 2025, at 79, her remarkable journey came to an end after decades of beloved television work. Yet her sparkling spirit remains part of television history forever. Brigitte Bardot. Once the ultimate symbol of global sensuality in the late 1950s and 1960s, Brigitte Bardot electrified cinema with In God Created Woman in Contempt. Her tousled blonde hair, mesmerizing gaze, and effortless French allure reshaped the image of modern beauty. Now at 92, silver hair and softened features reflect decades devoted to animal protection and quiet living. True legends never fade. Tippi Hedren. Once the ultimate Hitchcock heroine of the early 1960s, Tippi Hedren stunned audiences in The Birds and Marnie. Her cool elegance, piercing gaze, and perfectly poised presence defined classic suspense cinema. Now at 96, silver hair and weathered features accompany a life dedicated to rescuing wild animals through the Shambhala Preserve. Compassion becomes the greatest legacy. Shelley Hack. Once the ultimate sophisticated beauty of late 1970s television, Shelley Hack gained fame through Charlie's Angels and international modeling campaigns. Her tall figure, polished style, and camera-ready elegance embodied modern glamour. Now at 78, silver-streaked hair and gentler features reflect a quieter life devoted to media consulting and producing. Grace matures beautifully over time. Bridget Fonda. Once the ultimate edgy leading lady of 1990s cinema, Bridget Fonda captivated audiences in Single White Female, Point of No Return, and Jackie Brown. Her sharp features and confident presence made her one of the era's most compelling actresses. Now at 61, softer features and a relaxed style reflect a peaceful life focused on family. Fame is not the only legacy. Susan Dey. Once the ultimate television sweetheart of the 1970s and later a dramatic powerhouse in LA Law during the 1980s and 1990s, Susan Dey grew into one of television's most respected actresses. Her natural blonde beauty and quiet confidence defined her appeal. Now at 73, silver blonde hair and softened features accompany a deeply private life. Dignity ages gracefully. Angie Dickinson. Once the ultimate symbol of confident glamour in the 1960s and 1970s, Angie Dickinson impressed audiences in Rio Bravo and the groundbreaking series Policewoman. Her radiant smile and unmistakable poise made her unforgettable. Now at 94, white hair and delicate lines reflect a life lived beyond the spotlight. Hollywood remembers the elegance she brought to every screen. Sophia Loren. Once the ultimate Italian screen goddess of the 1950s and 1960s, Sophia Loren conquered world cinema with Two Women, Marriage Italian Style, and countless unforgettable roles. Her striking eyes and powerful presence defined Mediterranean beauty. Now at 92, silver hair and graceful maturity reveal a legend still admired across generations. Some stars shine forever. Kim Novak. Once the ultimate mysterious blonde of 1950s Hollywood, Kim Novak mesmerized audiences in Vertigo, Picnic, and Bell Book and Candle. Her hypnotic gaze and quiet sensuality created one of cinema's most haunting images. Now at 93, silver hair and weathered features accompany a secluded life devoted to painting and nature. Art often outlives fame. Catherine Deneuve. Once the ultimate embodiment of French cinematic elegance beginning in the 1960s, Catherine Deneuve captivated audiences in The Umbrellas of Cherbourg and Belle de Jour. Her porcelain beauty and cool sophistication became legendary. Now at 83, silver blonde hair and softened features still carry unmistakable grace. True sophistication deepens with the passing years. Jaclyn Smith. Once the ultimate television beauty of the late 1970s through Charlie's Angels, Jaclyn Smith became one of the most beloved faces of primetime television. Her warm smile and timeless elegance defined the series. Now at 80, silver-streaked hair and gentle lines reflect a life balanced between occasional acting and successful entrepreneurship. Elegance is truly timeless. Barbara Eden. Once the ultimate television enchantress of the 1960s, Barbara Eden charmed millions in I Dream of Jeannie and countless television specials that followed. Her sparkling eyes, radiant smile, and playful elegance defined classic American television fantasy. Now at 94, silver hair and softened features reflect a slower pace of life. True charm never grows old. Bo Derek. Once the ultimate beachside beauty of the late 1970s and early 1980s, Bo Derek became an international sensation through the film 10. Her sun-kissed hair, athletic figure, and confident allure created one of cinema's most iconic images. Now at 69, silver blonde hair and gentle lines reflect a quieter life devoted to horses and animal advocacy. Beauty evolves with time. Dolores Hart. Once the ultimate rising star of late 1950s Hollywood, Dolores Hart appeared opposite Elvis Presley in Loving You and King Creole. Her expressive eyes and poised elegance suggested a long career ahead. Yet everything changed when she left Hollywood for religious life. Now at 86, silver hair and peaceful features reflect decades devoted to faith. Purpose reshapes destiny. Shirley Temple. Once the ultimate child star of the 1930s, Shirley Temple brightened the world in films like Bright Eyes and Curly Top during the Great Depression. Her golden curls and joyful spirit became symbols of hope. In 2014, at 85, she passed away after a remarkable life that later included diplomatic service. Her legacy still brings smiles. Mary Badham. Once the ultimate child performer of early 1960s cinema, Mary Badham moved audiences with her unforgettable role as Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird. Her wide eyes and natural sincerity made the performance timeless. Now at 73, silver hair and softened features reflect a life largely lived away from fame. Some performances never age. Debbie Turner. Once the ultimate young face of musical cinema in the mid-1960s, Debbie Turner appeared as Marta von Trapp in The Sound of Music. Her bright smile and youthful innocence charmed audiences worldwide. Now at 69, silver hair and gentle lines reflect a peaceful life after decades in floral design. Simplicity often becomes the greatest success. Danica McKellar. Once the ultimate girl next door of late 1980s television, Danica McKellar won hearts as Winnie Cooper in The Wonder Years. Her warm smile and thoughtful presence captured the innocence of youth. Now at 51, graceful maturity and subtle lines accompany a life devoted to education and mathematics advocacy. Intelligence shines just as brightly as beauty. Lark Voorhees. Once the ultimate fashion-forward teen icon of early 1990s television, Lark Voorhees gained fame as Lisa Turtle on Saved by the Bell. Her expressive eyes and vibrant personality defined youthful television culture. Now at 51, softer features and a quieter lifestyle reflect years spent focusing on writing and personal growth. Every journey follows its own path. Stacey Keenan. Once the ultimate wholesome sitcom daughter of late 1980s and 1990s television, Stacey Keenan became a familiar face through My Two Dads and Step by Step. Her bright eyes and confident charm made her a family television favorite. Now at 50, natural maturity and professional poise reflect her successful career as an attorney. Reinvention defines true strength. Estelle Getty. Once the ultimate comedic force of 1980s television, Estelle Getty brought unforgettable wit to the Golden Girls as Sophia Petrillo. Her expressive face and sharp humor made every scene sparkle. In 2008, at 84, she passed away after battling dementia in her later years. Laughter remains one of the most powerful legacies. Madeline Kahn. Once the ultimate comedic talent of 1970s Hollywood, Madeline Kahn stole every scene in Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and Clue. Her expressive voice and fearless humor made her unforgettable. In 1999, at 57, she passed away after battling ovarian cancer. Though her life ended too soon, her brilliant comedy still echoes across generations. Ali Sheedy. Once the ultimate voice of 1980s youth cinema, Ali Sheedy became iconic through The Breakfast Club, War Games, and St. Elmo's Fire. Her soulful eyes and thoughtful intensity captured the spirit of an entire generation. Now at 64, silver strands and softened features accompany a quieter artistic life. Depth grows stronger with experience. Joanna Cassidy. Once the ultimate striking presence of early 1980s science fiction, Joanna Cassidy stunned audiences as Zora in Blade Runner and appeared in many acclaimed television roles. Her sharp cheekbones and commanding gaze made her unforgettable. Now at 80, silver hair and weathered lines reveal decades of experience. Cult legends never truly disappear. Dee Wallace. Once the ultimate on-screen mother of early 1980s cinema, Dee Wallace moved audiences in E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Cujo, and The Howling. Her kind eyes and comforting warmth made her instantly relatable. Now at 77, silver hair and gentle wrinkles reflect years of continued work in independent films. Kindness always leaves a lasting impression. Farrah Fawcett. Once the ultimate symbol of 1970s American glamour, Farrah Fawcett became a global sensation through Charlie's Angels and her legendary red swimsuit poster. Her radiant smile and flowing blonde hair defined an era. In 2009, at 62, she passed away after a courageous battle with cancer. Some images remain timeless forever. Cheryl Ladd. Once the ultimate television sweetheart of the late 1970s, Cheryl Ladd carried the legacy of Charlie's Angels after joining the iconic series. Her golden hair and bright smile brought warmth to the screen. Now at 75, silver blonde hair and softened features reflect a calmer life centered on family and occasional performances. Sean Young. Once the ultimate mysterious beauty of 1980s science fiction, Sean Young captivated audiences as Rachel in Blade Runner and appeared in films like Wall Street and No Way Out. Her striking dark hair and intense gaze made her unforgettable. Now at 66, silver strands and weathered lines reflect decades in and out of the spotlight. Jennifer Grey. Once the ultimate romantic heroine of late 1980s cinema, Jennifer Grey became unforgettable in Dirty Dancing and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Her distinctive look and expressive eyes made her stand apart. Now at 65, softened features and visible changes reflect the passing of time and life beyond early fame. Every face carries its story. Bridget Wilson Sampras. Once the ultimate fresh-faced beauty of 1990s Hollywood, Bridget Wilson appeared in Billy Madison and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Her bright smile and confident charm defined the decade's rising stars. Now at 52, gentler features and a relaxed lifestyle reflect years devoted to family life. Happiness often lives far from fame. Shannon Doherty. Once the ultimate rebellious star of 1990s television, Shannon Doherty became famous through Beverly Hills 90210 and later Charmed. Her piercing eyes and bold personality made her unforgettable. In 2024, at 53, she passed away after a long battle with cancer. Her courage and honesty left a legacy beyond television. Daryl Hannah, once the ultimate ethereal beauty of 1980s cinema. Daryl Hannah enchanted audiences in Splash and Blade Runner before later appearing in Kill Bill. Her tall frame, flowing blonde hair, and dreamy presence made her unforgettable. Now at 65, silver strands and softened features reflect a life devoted to environmental activism. Quiet conviction becomes its own kind of power. Tatum O'Neal. Once the ultimate child prodigy of 1970s Hollywood, Tatum O'Neal stunned audiences in Paper Moon, becoming the youngest Academy Award winner in history. Her bright eyes and fearless spirit captured hearts worldwide. Now at 62, weathered lines and quieter confidence reflect a life shaped by triumph and struggle. Strength often grows through hardship. Shelley Long. Once the ultimate sophisticated comedic star of 1980s television, Shelley Long became beloved as Diane Chambers on Cheers and later appeared in The Money Pit. Her expressive face and elegant humor defined her performances. Now at 76, silver blonde hair and softened features reflect a peaceful life away from the spotlight. Timeless talent never fades. Dana Delaney. Once the ultimate dramatic presence of late 1980s television, Dana Delaney won acclaim for her powerful role in China Beach. Her refined features and intelligent intensity set her apart from her peers. Now at 69, subtle lines and graceful maturity accompany a career that continues with selective roles. Experience deepens every performance. Kim Basinger. Once the ultimate Hollywood siren of the 1980s and 1990s, Kim Basinger mesmerized audiences in 91 Weeks, Batman, and LA Confidential. Her smoky eyes and sensual elegance defined an era. Now at 72, silver hair and softened contours reflect a quieter life away from constant attention. True glamour grows more mysterious with time. Meg Ryan. Once the ultimate queen of romantic comedies in the late 1980s and 1990s, Meg Ryan charmed audiences in When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail. Her bright smile and playful warmth defined cinematic romance. Now at 64, changed features and silver strands reflect a life lived beyond the spotlight. Memories remain timeless. Meg Tilly. Once the ultimate fragile beauty of 1980s drama, Meg Tilly delivered a haunting performance in Agnes of God and appeared in Valmont. Her expressive eyes conveyed deep emotional vulnerability. Now at 65, softened features and silver hair accompany a quieter life focused on writing novels. Creativity often finds new paths with time. Beverly Washburn. Once the ultimate child actress of 1950s Hollywood, Beverly Washburn appeared in films like Old Yeller and numerous television classics. Her bright eyes and natural emotion made her a favorite among directors. Now at 82, white hair and gentle wrinkles reflect decades of resilience beyond early fame. Longevity is its own triumph. Carrie Henn. Once the ultimate child star of 1980s science fiction, Carrie Henn captured hearts as nude in the film Aliens. Her wide-eyed innocence gave the story emotional depth. Now at 49, natural maturity and a quiet lifestyle reflect her decision to leave Hollywood behind and become a teacher. Ordinary lives can still hold extraordinary memories. Deanna Durbin. Once the ultimate musical sensation of late 1930s Hollywood, Deanna Durbin saved Universal Studios with films like Three Smart Girls and It Started with Eve. Her radiant smile and powerful soprano voice captivated millions. In 2013 at 91, she passed away after decades of private life in France. Mystery sometimes protects a legend. Margaret O'Brien. Once the ultimate beloved child star of 1940s cinema, Margaret O'Brien moved audiences in Meet Me in St. Louis and earned a special Academy Award. Her expressive eyes carried remarkable emotional depth. Now at 88, white hair and softened features reflect a lifetime connected to Hollywood history. Childhood brilliance can echo forever. June Lockhart. Once the ultimate television mother across multiple decades, June Lockhart became famous through Lassie and Lost in Space. Her warm elegance and reassuring presence defined classic family television. In 2025, at 100, she passed away after a remarkable century of life. Few careers shine across generations as brightly as hers. Time changes every face, yet it cannot erase the stories these remarkable women gave to the world. Their beauty may have softened, but their impact remains timeless. From silver screens to quiet lives beyond fame, their journeys remind us that true legends are not defined by youth, but by the memories they leave behind.